Today on the show, we got a very special guest. Jack Carlough joins the show. We'll get to know him a little bit. We'll talk a little bit more about Preston Ashley. Just some other stuff going around college football. LaNorris Sellers' response to Thomas Castellanos' comments. Backup quarterbacks, fill in the blank, much, much more. Let's go.
Squad!
Yes, sir. Welcome into DNVR Buffs Live. It's Wednesday. It's June, but we're in the Toyota Lounge. We're talking football. And we got a guest. Shout out to our boy. You know who it is, man. Jack Carlough. World famous, actually. Yep. Coach Prime stamped.
The man who doesn't need an introduction.
Facts.
Jack Carlough.
There you go. Let him know.
Yeah.
Straighten it out right now. What is your last name?
Carlough.
There you go.
Carlough.
There you go.
That was silent at the end. Not Harlow. Make that clear.
Good to see you, my boy. How's the summer been? The offseason been treating you?
Been busy.
Yeah.
I'm on 2 adult league softball teams.
Congrats. Let's go.
You out there hitting dingers or what, my boy?
Yes.
Okay.
More of a defense first guy, I'm going to say.
All right.
That's short.
All right. All right.
I'm having fun with that. And yeah, just staying busy with covering CU, covering Shador and Travis, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, doing well. Thanks for having me. For sure, this is my first time here, so
love to hear
excited
it
about that.
Yeah,
bro.
no
It's
problem,
good to have
man.
you, bro.
I mean, you've been covering this team a long time. When did you start covering CU?
It's my freshman year at CU, so that was 2018 to 19. Yeah, I was in the dorms. That was the year Coach McIntyre got fired, and then about halfway through the season, so I started with the CU Independent, then.
That's the student newspaper.
The student
right?
newspaper. Mm-hmm. Different than the Bold and Go Buff Sports. It's kind of a mess right now with the student publications. But yeah, I did that for like 3 years. Then became the managing editor at Buffalo's Wire. Did that for the past 3 or 4 seasons. And now I'm with Colorado Buffaloes on SI as of March. So we'll be doing that this season. Really excited to just do my best with them this fall.
Hell yeah, man. Congrats on the upgrade, too.
Great.
That's
Thank
awesome,
you.
man.
Thank you.
Congrats, my boy.
Fun.
You've been killing it for some time now, bro. Obviously, I feel like one reason a lot of these people know you is because of obviously your friend and going back and forth with Coach Prime during pressers, and that just always makes the entire media room just like crack up and laugh and whatnot.
Yeah.
What's that been like for you, right? Because obviously, like you said, you've been covering the team since a freshman. Some really dark days.
Yeah.
It's been a lot different in a lot of different ways over the last 2 years. But I guess specifically about, with Coach Prime, how things have kind of been different and how cool it has been for you to kind of just been interacting with him the way you have been.
Yeah, I never could have imagined this. I think a lot of people who like cover CU
of course.
And fans, just like seeing like Coach Prime around Boulder, like never could have imagined that in like 2021, 22.
Right.
And just like going from a nervous freshman, sophomore student reporter going like, just trying to get like one question in Ramel Tucker or something.
Right.
Or Carl Durrell next few years to, it's been awesome just to see him, just share his respect for what we do in the media. That's been cool. He obviously was in the media for a long time too.
He really was.
NFL
Totally.
Network. And then the Jack Carlough Cup stuff came along.
Yep.
He got me up to I think 7,000 followers on Twitter.
That is
literally in
fire,
one day.
That instantly worked.
In December, my phone was just boom.
I'm sure, bro. You probably had to turn noties off, huh?
Yes, I did. It was on even like Facebook. People are DMing me on LinkedIn.
No way.
I'm joking. Instagram, because you didn't shout me out there. And yeah, just that one day was insane and just helped me a lot, like professionally and personally. It's a huge confidence boost, obviously.
Sure, of course, man.
Yes, I was really grateful for that. And yeah, because I'm a young professional, just graduated college a couple of years ago.
Right.
So it's been huge for me. So really, really grateful for all that support.
Were you surprised how quickly all the noise and the followers came through? Because like it's one thing you're in the moment, you're like hearing Coach Prime say, "Everybody go follow Jack Carlough right now," but like it's a whole other thing when you get your phone and you're seeing your following like triple and quadruple and whatnot.
I had my phone like on the table during that one press conference where he like really shouted me out. It was probably like 10 seconds after he said that. I looked down and I was like, oh my God. after another.
It's all these people, bro. They're watching live all the time, man.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. One after another. Yeah, I was in shock for a little bit. Just like driving home, I was just, what?
Sure, man.
That was an awesome day and excited to, keep building like a rapport with Coach Prime this fall.
Yeah.
Really excited about that. And yeah, just for what's ahead.
Yeah, he's so good with that stuff, and honestly, well deserved too, man. I mean,
thank you.
You've definitely earned it. You've been through the School of Hard Knocks, especially covering this university.
Yeah,
so
early years.
It's really dope to see you get the shine that you deserve.
Thank you.
Biggest difference though for you, is it the press conference? From the Coach Prime era and before Coach Prime, really, what have you noticed is the biggest difference? Maybe even around Boulder or just around CU. Or with the football team in general.
It's everything, all of the above, totally. You know that. Press conferences, obviously, as you know as well.
They're a lot more fun now, huh?
A lot. Even like rubbing shoulders with like, big ESPN, college football guys, USA Today, big Sports Illustrated guys, all the major national outlets. It's been cool getting to know some of those guys because 3-4 years ago, like I probably never would have had the chance to talk to them unless I like DM them or something. That's been cool. And just Boulder, the energy for sure. Like walking into the stadium and like going through all the tailgates and stuff, you could just tell there's a lot more excitement. Mm-hmm. Like coming into games, like before Coach Prime, it's like, you're just hoping for like one or two good things to happen.
Literally,
The guy has like a 15-yard catch and that's the headline.
Yeah.
And now it's like,
when Jordan Tyson play, that's the thing that we're going off of for the whole week, pretty much. Like, get ready. What's he gonna do next week? Type of stuff.
Like somebody had 1.5 TFLs. That's
exactly.
The story.
Yep.
And now on the field, that's obviously changed. And even like Shedeur and Travis now coming to the NFL, that's been a good experience for me to learn how the draft process works. Because before it was like one or two guys maybe, and now I have to focus on like OTAs and mini camp. Seeing that side of it, following our old guys has been really cool.
Oh yeah, man.
You said you've been writing quite a bit about Travis and Shedeur.
Yes.
Obviously this offseason for obvious reasons.
Obviously a lot of
good
drama.
reasons. What's kind of your just read on their fits in their respective, kind of franchises and, what you might be expecting out of them in year one as rookies?
Definitely with Travis, probably the better fit, just based on what everything Liam Cohen has said and their GM Andrew Gladstone.
Yeah.
Like they're giving him the opportunity to play both ways. I'm
For
so
sure.
excited for that. Mm-hmm. So I think he deserves the chance to at least prove he can do it, and I think he can. Even like after games at CU, he wasn't out of breath or anything. He's got the stamina. You guys know that.
He's an Energizer Bunny on an overloaded battery. He's unbelievable.
Definitely curious how he will fit in alongside Brian Thomas. Brother, he was stud last year as a rookie.
Yep.
Defensively not worried at all. Regarding Shedeur, obviously 4-man quarterback competition.
Yeah.
It's all speculation, hearsay. I'm trying not to read too much into what.
Credit to you, bro.
Because it's so early, right?
Yeah.
It's still June.
Yes, that too. I think once training camp gets going and the preseason, I'm sure he'll get a lot of opportunity to play in the preseason along with Dylan Gabriel as well. I never would have pictured like Shedeur and Joe Flacco in the same room.
I know.
That's crazy.
It's insane.
But we're here. Excited about that. And also want to give some love to the other Buffs like Jimmy Horn Jr., LaJohntay Wester.
Definitely.
I think Wester's going to fit in really well with Baltimore. Hopefully, probably as a punt returner first.
Right.
And Shiloh, he's made a strong first impression with the Bucks. It seems like Silman Craig, you guys had on last week. Yeah, it's been crazy just having, like 7 guys in the NFL all of a sudden.
lot more than maybe the past, 4 or 5 years combined, maybe?
Yeah, be like Shinobi Awuzie like made a play,
Right.
big story,
Totally.
and now all of a sudden, this fall I'm going to be watching more than just the Broncos.
Oh yeah, no,
Closely.
we're gonna be very entertained on Sundays this fall.
Are the Broncos your team?
Yes, yeah,
You're
I'm
Colorado
from,
born and raised.
He knows
right?
ball, bro.
Bro, I'm not talking to you right now. I'm talking about my boy Jack right now, bro.
Yes, grew up watching the Broncos, born in Boulder, so yeah, obviously my team.
You think they're gonna be nice this year?
Yes.
How
yes,
nice?
I think so. I'm really excited about the defense. I mean, they were 7th seed last year in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think right. That's about right. Yeah.
I think they were 7th seed because they went to Buffalo. If they don't make the playoffs, it's a failure year for me at least. Just in terms of Bo Nix developing. Yeah, it's also crazy watching Bo Nix here too because we saw him at Oregon that one year when he was in Boulder. See him wear a Broncos uniform has been weird, but excited about the Broncos this year for sure.
Why are you smiling like that at me, bro?
I thought you were gonna say something about your boy Bo. I don't know.
No, that's my QB, bro. Leave him alone. Fight to the death for him. Always have, always will. Okay, let's get into the show today. We'll play fill in the blank. We got a little bit of news to talk about. More on what Thomas Castellanos said, particularly because LaNorris Sellers, he did it right. He's basically laying out a blueprint for Thomas Castellanos.
That boy
on
has
how
some
to talk
media
to the
training.
media. For sure. CBS made a list of the 10 best backup quarterbacks in college football.
That is so random.
It is. It's June 25th.
Did a Buff make the list?
We'll get to it. But we start today.
Jeff Sims better not be on that list.
Do we want to just open with the list of this?
No way, bro. He better
We'll
not
get
be
to
on
the
that
list.
list.
We'll get
bro.
to the list. We'll get to the
He
list.
better not be on that list.
We're going to start with Preston Ashley, 4-star cornerback, obviously committed yesterday. And I mean, if you're like me, you were, scrolling social yesterday and you just saw, the kid, you saw the announcement. He talked to Dukes. Scotty, you talked to him. We're going to get into that. But this is a perfect fit, it seems.
Facts.
In terms of embracing what CU is, embracing Coach Prime, the culture, that's exactly what you want out of a recruit. And, we've had some great fits, obviously, before. Guys just do it all a different way. Chauncey was more of like a recruiter, But Preston Ashley is just ready to, he's talking about how he just loves doing like the buff sign with Dukes and all that.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he's just awesome. Jack, what do you think about the Preston Ashley fit with CU?
Excited about that. I think there was one quote he gave, I think to On3. I'm going to shout that out.
You're good.
I still got to read the article. But he was talking about the culture there, family culture. He brought up Travis Hunter and how, all the teammates, coaches, like Mathis, went to his wedding, stuff like that. It's like he has the foresight of, this is more than just coming in for like a bag.
Totally.
Or, that family support that has really embodied Coach Prime's culture the past few years. I think that was really impactful for me to see, and excited to get to know him the next few years. Hopefully we can talk to him soon. At camp or whatever.
Oh, he'll be a great press conference guy. I already know that.
100%. One of my favorite interviews I've done for a high school recruit in a long time. Like, bro's electric through the phone.
Really?
Like one of those conversations, like when you get done, like you're just kind of like smiling, like, yeah, that was a vibe. That was a vibe. He's gonna fit in exactly. He's gonna fit in perfectly.
Do we have his stats? I think I wrote on this yesterday. His high school stats were insane.
Really?
He had. I have it pulled up here.
Brandon, Mississippi, right?
And we learned
Brandon.
yesterday that, Brandon, Mississippi is like 7A football down there in Mississippi, the
7A.
highest classification of football, the most competitive football in the state of Mississippi. Obviously, Preston Ashley is the #1 ranked cornerback in the state of Mississippi as well. So coming from some real competitive football.
Yes.
You got his stats?
I'm trying to find I thought I had it pulled up, but it was impressive. He's
No,
played
I
a lot
believe
his
it.
first three years there. That experience is going to be huge. Maybe I think like 7 interceptions in 3 years.
I'll pull it up. We'll get
Okay,
it.
I think it's worth looking at.
Yeah, we'll definitely get to it. We got to take a break real quick, though, and we'll get to a bunch more about Preston Ashley on the other side.
Shout out to the squad, our good friends over at Coors Light,
Coors.
man. Coors Light. We were at the Rockies game on Friday for our Friday rooftop club, and boy, were the Coors Lights flowing that night. It was
Damn
a
right.
perfect night, man. The sun was setting. You can see the mountains in the back. The Rockies were losing by a lot of runs. It was like a perfect. It was a perfect night.
Colorado through and through.
It was a perfect Colorado night. And like I said, the Coors Light they were really flowing because when those mountains turn blue, Jake, you know, it's as cold as the Rockies, brother. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. When you embrace the chill mindset, it's a good time to choose chill and crack open a Coors Light. Make the most out of the times you choose to chill. Choose Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/DNVR. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
And also shout out to our friends over at Cake Mortgage. Look, it's 2025. Not everyone is going to an office for their job. Not everyone has a conventional job anymore, right? Speaking, us as content creators, if you own your own business or, you just have any type of unconventional type of income, this is where Cake Mortgage comes in. Getting a house can be difficult when you have some of those jobs. Getting approved for a loan really is where it gets difficult. But if you are a regular employee of a company, you get a W-2, your income shows on your tax return, all that stuff. If you don't have that, this is where Cake Mortgage steps in. They get business owners approved by validating your cash flow through bank statements, certified profit and loss statements, or business tax returns. That means that their tax returns, that means that if you are, unconventional employment, these are your friends here at Cake Mortgage. They make buying a home a piece of cake. Head to the link in the description to get started. Cake Mortgage Co., Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 1734623, licensed in Colorado by the Division of Real Estate. Terms and conditions apply. All right. Do you have the video of... Okay, that's fine. What did you learn from Preston talking to him?
That he was born to play for Coach Prime. He was destined to play for Deion Sanders. Like I mentioned earlier, one of the most fun interviews I've done with the high school recruit in a long time. Shout out to Preston for chopping it up with me yesterday. Go check out the story, the latest on thednvr.com. Make sure you become a diehard too if you aren't already, to catch all of our exclusive written content, all type of perks at the bar here and whatnot. But back to Preston. This is somebody who said, Coach Prime has been my hero ever since I was a little kid. My first day training back in the day, I had a do-rag on and I said my name was AKA Deion Sanders. I'm just imagining a little 7-year-old Preston Ashley. Preston Ashley,
Hold
AKA
on, real
Deion
quick,
Sanders.
That's crazy because
It's
7 years
crazy.
old.
Yeah, right.
I mean, he's a 2025 recruit. I'm not trying to do math here, but
He's 16 right now. So
yeah, 2015-ish or something. Way beyond when Coach Prime was playing football, and he's obviously extremely influenced by him still.
No doubt. He goes on and he goes, if you're not a believer in Coach Prime by now, then you're still sleeping under a rock, and you'll just be asleep there forever. He goes, it's like everything that Coach Prime touches turns into gold. And he specifically mentioned kind of Travis, like seeing somebody as talented as Travis was, who was supposed to go to Florida State, like Preston Ashley was. True. He was very much, thought of as a Florida State kind of lock in a lot of circles. But, in Travis's case, follows Coach Prime to Jackson State and then to Colorado, turning into a Heisman Trophy winner, being the number 2 overall pick in the draft, seeing, 3-4 guys drafted, this year out of Colorado. That really stood out to Preston Ashley. And obviously he talked about, why not Colorado? It's the best fit for me. And I think this last part, in terms of why it's the perfect fit, he talked about sitting down with Robert Livingston. And he goes, I've never been a big guy on coaches promising me playing time and all of that because I know I have to work for what I want. I've been doing that my whole life. Being able to just sit down with Coach Livingston and him telling me that was what got me, because I know they didn't sugarcoat anything and they were keeping it 100 with me. They're going to get everything out of me because I'm a dog and all I do is work. I mean, that's... They put D's on the Colorado jerseys for a reason. Right? That stand for dog. And obviously, Preston Ashley obviously, fits that bill. I asked him, because obviously he's a 4-star cornerback. Is he a true cornerback? Does he want to play safety? Is that something that he's interested in? And he goes, I am a football player. I'm a pure defensive back. It doesn't matter where I play. He goes, wherever Coach Prime needs me to be at, needs me to go get the ball and make plays so we can win games, that's where I'll be at. He goes, if you give him 3 weeks to practice, he can learn how to kick too. He said, whatever y'all need me to do, I'm going to do it. So man. Preston Ashley, like I said, is going to fit right in that secondary. A great ad, a 4-star talent, a top 100 recruit according to ESPN, one of the most athletic prospects in the country. I think that video surfaced yesterday of him jumping like 10 feet
Yeah.
on
Saw
broad
that.
jump was just
And that was from like 2 years ago or something too. I
right,
think.
ridiculous athleticism and explosion.
Yep.
So
Just bummed we have to wait a year for him to be.
I know,
That's
man.
fun to come now.
facts.
I mean, shoot, they could probably use him this year, honestly. I mean, they've got, I think, a good top 4 or 5 at corners. But,
Yeah.
I mean, Noah King, I mean, he's a young guy as well. But get these young guys in there, man. Get them learning under Coach Prime.
Definitely.
Okay. Real, yeah, please. I mean, go ahead. So this is Preston Ashley. If you didn't see this already, it's on social. Him announcing his commitment to, I'm assuming, just close friends and family. Yeah.
You know, this really showed me that after I leave Brandon, Mississippi, that I can call this place home. And
Yeah, you can.
I just want to tell everybody, Preston Money at Colorado Buffalo. Thing for me, dog.
Totally
Yeah.
crushed it.
He definitely hit that.
I love the Presto Money at Colorado Buffalo.
Excited to see that at Folsom after an interception.
Yes,
A year from now.
exactly,
It's gonna be
man.
cool.
Real quick, we'll get to the stats that you have. But
Okay.
my favorite quote, the one about you must be under a rock or whatever. Like, if you can't see what Coach Prime and Colorado are doing,
Literally, bro.
I mean, and that's the point we're at this point. You're either
Yes.
hating or you just have not paid attention at all.
And you never will.
You've picked a side.
You precisely, Jake. You are on that side, and you just got to stay over there. It don't matter what he, being Coach Prime, or this program does to some people, they will always be, an afterthought to a lot of people, or a joke to some people.
Yeah.
What did our anonymous coach say not too long ago? A circus, right? They
Yes.
call it still a circus. Some people who think that will always think that. And the people who think like Preston Ashley are going to continue to come to Colorado and add to the future of this program.
Yep. You have those stats?
Yeah, I want to correct myself with the interceptions too. So we had 168 total tackles.
This is last year.
This is over last.
No, I was this whole
3
college
years?
career.
Okay,
3
okay.
years. Yeah.
I was going to say,
So,
what?
3 years, my bad. 4 TFLs, 2 interceptions, 8 passes defended. So that's what I was thinking about, and
Yeah.
a forced fumble.
Nice.
So it was pretty productive.
I mean,
Hell yeah.
a lot of playing time.
the tackle numbers support what we saw yesterday, just watching his huddle.
Good tackler.
He's just around the football constantly. I mean,
Ball
and that's rare for a cornerback, right? Like, I can totally see why, there's maybe some conversation about safety with him.
Plays really downhill.
Yep.
A sure tackler. And like I said, I don't think he's afraid at all to play safety if that's what he's asked to do by, Coach Prime, Coach Livingston, Coach Mathis, whoever.
Yep.
So we know this staff really covets versatility. Seems like Preston has that.
I've seen him listed as like both cornerback and safety, but you
Yeah.
think
Right.
he's cornerback first.
I mean,
At least he's entering college.
I would think so, but I mean, like I said, he still has to play a whole senior season.
Yeah,
things can
yeah.
change by then. And like he said, I'm a pure defensive back. So
Okay.
I think because he doesn't have a preference either way, I think that opens the door for him to play either position. But I think at this point, they'll probably start him on that corner.
Okay.
I mean, he does look like a pretty big defensive back already. Like, he could play safety, but he's got long arms too, man. Get him out on the perimeter. Try to get him to lock up guys. Kind of like Noah King. I mean, CU has a mold at the position. It's quite
Yeah.
clear at this point.
Hell yeah.
DJ McKinney too. Excited for that this fall.
Yeah, he's gonna big year for DJ McKinney.
Yes.
Someone asked a question about Media Day people. We'll talk about that. Get your questions in for Jack too. We'll get to those at the end of the show. Jordan Deck, also sticking with recruiting here for just a little bit. Jordan Deck, the safety, right? Or no, sorry, Jace Matthews. Jordan Deck committed to Baylor yesterday. But Jace Matthews, the receiver from also from Mississippi, put out a new top 5: Texas A&M, LSU, Ole Miss, Auburn, and Colorado. He said, it's one of the hardest decisions I'll ever make in my whole life.
I talked to Jace a couple weeks ago. He was really impressed. He visited. I don't remember what week that was.
One of them, bro.
I think it was the one where Cruel and Deacon and Breck were on. But like I said, talked to Jace a couple weeks ago off of that visit, and he was just really impressed with 2 people in particular. I would say Coach Jason Phillips, receivers coach, who has just done a hell of a job coaching up that room, recruiting, adding talent to that room. He was really impressed with Coach Phillips, and obviously Juju. Like, having a young quarterback like that already in place who you can kind of grow with, a quarterback that, Jace trusts to get him the ball where he needs it. Because, Jace Matthews, I think we've maybe played some film of him on the show in the past. Like, dude can go up and get the football, like a contested catch, like demon, like a real problem in those type of situations. So you mentioned it. Colorado's now in this top 5 among all SEC schools.
Yep.
So that'll be interesting.
Jack, it's been a busy summer recruiting wise. Is there any
Yes.
recruit that like sticks out in your mind as Colorado's got to have that kid?
I like the in-state guys, like Deacon and
Breck?
Tripskews.
Oh,
the
yeah,
other one I was
him too,
thinking
yeah.
of. He was like Kent Denver.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an in-state guy too, so I like keeping the in-state guys here instead of going to like Nebraska or.
Totally.
There's been a couple, I think. Yeah, I think those two, both offensive linemen. I know heading into this year, we got a couple good incoming freshman offensive linemen and
Chauncey Gooden,
Chauncey and Cardi.
yeah.
I think Jay Gardenhire transfer portal.
Yep.
But those two guys, that's big, and adding more depth there for the future, I think that's really key up front. And credit to the 3 offensive line coaches now just for getting ahead of that. We're not sure where they'll go yet. We'll find out in the next few weeks.
Yeah,
At least for
Deacon this Saturday.
Deacon on Saturday. Even Tripskews, who you just mentioned, July 1st.
July
coming
1st.
up real soon as well.
All right, next week. Excited about those two guys. Those kind of just the first 2 names that came into my head, at least.
Do you still cover high school football? out in Colorado?
Yeah, so I do freelance for Boulder Daily Camera. It's
Oh, okay.
Boco Preps. They'll send me. It's not every week for football because I'll do like softball, cross country, every high school sport.
Yeah.
Covered a Broomfield game last year. Broomfield is amazing.
Yeah.
That's the big kind of like local-ish team.
Yeah.
Fairview. They had a really good wide receiver. I'm missing his name.
The Fighting Arcade right there.
That is the Fighting Arcade.
Yeah. Yes, but I do a little bit. I couldn't go too in depth. With
No
that,
worries.
but
It's all good.
I haven't watched Trip or Deacon yet.
Okay.
Jake wants to report
I
on
know.
all the local
not what
high
I
school
was-
football.
I wasn't trying to put you on the spot, bro. I
you're
promise.
It would be cool to get out to Windsor though and catch
Yeah.
a game. I'm close there, so that would be cool.
Hell yeah.
Shout out Windsor.
Totally.
I mean, if they can, I feel like if they can just lock down, and Corey Phillips is clearly on this with his tweet a couple days ago, right, where he was like, the best in state, stay in state. If they can really just lock down these guys, like you mentioned, Deacon committing this weekend, Tripskews, my guy T.I., who I feel like people just forget that he's from here in Colorado, from that, the Polynesian family and whatnot. That would be just a great start to this 2026 recruiting class. And that really, I feel like, should be the emphasis after the Sedarian Morgans, the real blue chips that you're targeting here.
No doubt.
Yeah, Starian's also a huge name.
Massive.
That's
I mean, he's number one target for me, honestly. Give Juju a weapon for the
Yeah. Oh,
future to kind of grow with. And obviously the physical tangibles are, you can't deny those.
Let me throw in another. Go ahead, sorry,
just
Jack.
if you're a young wide receiver too, like looking at what Draylon Miller did this past season and then the year before, Marion for the injuries. Just those two guys, I think, like freshmen can come in knowing that they'll have a
Totally.
chance to make a big impact. You guys
sure.
have talked a lot about that recently, but I think that'll play a big role in his commitment.
Perfect segue in terms of recruiting targets and the receiver position. Another
Yeah.
guy, C.J. Sadler, yesterday was named the MVP, the wide receiver MVP at Rebels Camp 5-star. He obviously visited Colorado recently. The Buffs are in the mix of Maryland, North Carolina, Michigan State. 4-star slot receiver in this 2026 class. A true two-way player too, right?
He plays everything. He
sure.
throws the ball too. He plays quarterback.
Even at that camp yesterday where he won wide receiver MVP, he got some reps at cornerback and showed why he is like a legitimate two-way player. And he has a decision coming up soon as well in about 3 weeks, August 15th,
I think you're
day
right.
before
yeah.
my birthday. So we've mentioned a couple times here this week. The next 3 weeks, it could get really scary. It could get real big in terms of this 2026 recruiting class for Colorado.
Everyone's trying to commit before their senior years.
Right.
So,
Yep.
Yeah, pretty busy.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
that was all.
But there's a
Yeah, yeah.
handful of kids who I think want to take it into take in-season visits and all that. But from the vibe from this class, at least Colorado's targets, it does seem like a lot of them want to get the recruiting process for them wrapped up before their senior season.
I think that shows like those guys are like where their feet are, and they are totally committed to their high school program, obviously as they should be, and they want to win there, and then take their next step in their journey. So, have that out of the way.
Totally.
I think that shows a lot of maturity in a way.
Absolutely. I mean, and we talk about, with character all the time, right? It's the last in the standard for Coach Prime, but it's maybe the most important. I mean, they've shown that really throughout the years. And I mean, proof is in the pudding, honestly, with the players that they've had. Let's take our next break, and then we'll get to the fun stuff. Shout out to our friends over at Toyota. Scotty rode in RK's Toyota recently.
What a time, bro. I mean, but it was a hot ass day out in Boulder.
It was a hell of a day, though.
With that AC and that Toyota, boy, had me and RG in the back feeling great. That AC and that Toyota don't play around.
Smooth ride too.
Oh yeah,
not bouncing around and all that.
Can't remember a single bump.
There you go. That's why you get a Toyota. RK's got the RAV4, but they got all sorts of incredible new vehicles like the new 2024 Tacoma and the return of the iconic 2024 Land Cruiser. Toyota offers 17 models with all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive like the Epic 4Runner. They got sports cars, they got hybrids, minivans, whatever you need, they got it all. Visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota is a proud partner of CU Athletics and the official vehicle of DNVR. Let's go places.
Hey, if you happen to be heading out on your next summer road trip, cruising down the highway in your Toyota, then order at RaisingCanes.com or on the Canes mobile app to satisfy your chicken finger fix in a snap. At Raising Canes, every chicken finger is hand battered and cooked to order. All the crinkle cut fries are crispy and perfectly salted. Every single Texas toast is buttered to perfection, and all the cane sauce is made in restaurant, fresh, each and every day, ready to be dipped. Are you hungry yet? If so, get your order today at Cane's and keep the road trip going. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love. Shout out the squad over at Cane's. Y'all know how I feel about Cane's.
Cane's biggest fan over here right next to me. All right. We'll get to the quarterback piece, Scotty. Trust me.
The what?
The quarterback, the backup quarterback piece.
I gotta ask Jack something about the quarterbacks anyway. So that's great.
Okay. Well, let's start talking about quarterbacks. Thomas Castellanos made a lot of noise, a lot of headlines. Actually, you know what? Shout out Thomas Castellanos. He helped out this show this week.
I was gonna say he's been contributing a lot of content to the show.
He did. Anyways, so LaNorris Sellers, who I absolutely love to watch that guy play football, South Carolina quarterback. Yep. He's going to be actually a lot of quarterback talk today. We'll get to fill in the blank here in a bit. Anyways, he was kind of asked about this, what Thomas Castellanos said. Obviously, South Carolina in the SEC, and they'll take on Alabama. I don't know this year, but LaNorris Sellers said, shoot, Alabama is still Alabama to me. They were good last year. They're a good team. They're big, strong, and fast. That's how I remember watching them growing up. I don't really think they've changed that much. Obviously, they got a new coaching staff and all that, but they're still SEC ball. They're still Alabama. That's all he said.
That's how you handle that.
That's it right there. Open and shut case. Not taking shots at Vandy or whoever.
And this is somebody who actually could have really went crazy on Alabama if he wanted to, because he actually balled out against Alabama last year. Almost pulled off an upset against number 7 Alabama. South Carolina lost 27-25, but he was 23 of 31 passing. That's a 74% completion, 238 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Obviously, he did some damage on the ground, which he typically does, but he could have went up there and talking about what? I did them dirty last year. Did y'all not see the game?
He could have been the one to say, I did it by myself.
Exactly. So shout out to him for just being smart and taking some media training and saying the right things and not throwing his teammates under the bus.
Facts.
Because I think that's the worst thing that Castellanos did, is he put so much pressure on his teammates and kind of, I don't know. That's not going to go over well.
And in turn, that puts pressure on himself.
Yeah, exactly.
To live up.
Someone said, and it was the perfect analogy. Someone said he kicked the hornet's nest.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah,
Jack, we don't have to get into the whole situation, all that, but just, do you have anything on the situation?
I want to talk about he did the keys.
No, so that was
the other.
That was Castellanos, yes, with Jaden O'Neal at Florida State.
Okay.
Yeah.
My bad there.
You can talk about that if you want. Go for it, bro.
Okay, I'll go with that. As you were saying earlier, just I think you might have had a tweet about this too. Just these other programs kind of copying sort of what Coach Prime is doing in terms of recruiting, and just like those like small things of, talking about like one generation handing down the keys to kind of the next generation. It's been interesting to see other college programs.
Colorado's trendsetters. That's what they are.
I think that's what you said on Twitter. You might have. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
that was interesting to me.
Hey, a wise man once said, "When you create the wave in the vibe, you are the vibe in the wave." You know who said that, Jack?
I have no idea.
You know who said that, Jake?
SDP.
Lil Baby.
Close enough, I guess.
I never would have guessed that.
Speaking of Lil Baby, Jack, I got to ask you a question.
Okay.
I actually have 2 questions for you.
Where is this going?
Let's go with music.
Do you actually listen to Jack Carlough? Do you rock with him? Like,
You know what? Great question.
You want to know the rapper Jack Carlough? Do you actually rock with him at all, or not really?
It's not really my vibe. I'm gonna say.
What is your vibe, musically?
Not a huge music guy, honestly. Oh, okay. I listen to like music while I'm like writing and stuff. That helps me a lot.
See, I can't do that at all.
Really?
If I'm writing, I can't listen to music at all. But I love
it to be like vibe. Like beats, like not a lot of wordy stuff.
Oh, I'm like Jack. I gotta have something in the background, like
TV,
something.
Just throw like YouTube on or something that helps.
It's perfect if there's like a game going on, like Monday Night Football or something. Like perfect background
for sure.
Yes, you got to mix it up too with writing.
That's valid.
Sometimes like I'll be like driving, like Jack Carlough comes on the radio. I'll start like, but then I like feel weird listening to it in a way.
Is it like you're listening to yourself?
I was listening to myself in a way. I can't explain it. I mean, Coach Prime didn't even know who Jack Carlough was the first time I asked him.
Which is crazy. Like he probably just heard the name, but he didn't actually know who he was.
And I think he was the Cowboys halftime performer for like a Thanksgiving game or something.
You're definitely right. You're definitely right.
I'm guessing he knows now. Shiloh, I think, when I introduced myself, he laughed at my name too.
Oh, Shiloh knew immediately.
Shiloh knew. That was funny. Yeah, he's out on my playlist, though. I'll say that. Would love to meet him one day, though.
Hey,
no,
Jack Carlough,
you got him in, bro.
Yeah. I mean, at the spring game, me and Brian Howell of the camera were talking, like, if Jack Carlough ever comes to Boulder, we got to do some kind of... he's a sideline dude.
All you got to do is just walk up and show your credential, basically. Just show him your name, pretty much.
Cousin. Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's hilarious. No, Jack Carlough got some heat. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all should tap in. But my other question, this is not a trick question, no matter how crazy this question might sound. Okay. I promise you. What are your thoughts on the food, the meal, the dish, meatloaf?
I like meatloaf.
Yeah,
I like meatloaf. My mom would make it like growing up every now and then.
Nice.
If you get a good like sauce on it, I don't know if it's like. I don't know what kind of sauce you put on meatloaf. Barbecue?
Is it barbecue?
I have no idea. I don't know. The sauce plays a big role. It's all protein. We like protein.
Yes.
That's good. You got to have some good sides with it.
What's the goat side for some meatloaf?
No. A vegetable. Probably vegetable would be good. Just even that out.
Mashed potatoes,
broccoli,
bro.
mashed potatoes would be good. Yeah. I mean, it's not on my plate every week, but
good to hear. Bro. Good to hear.
I feel like it's more like a 1950s, 1960s kind of food.
I agree.
That's what I feel like in a way. It has lost popularity, I think, with our generation.
Agree, brother.
I'm cool bringing it back.
Yeah, you're probably like, why the hell did he just ask me about meatloaf? But
when I came in here today, I was not preparing for meatloaf.
It's kind of been a reoccurring theme on this show here lately. About meatloaf. I'm not the biggest fan, but
okay.
We made a bet yesterday though on the show that if the Buffs go like 5 for 5.
Oh, I saw that.
Okay, yeah. That
or you would eat.
Yeah, I would eat some. So Jake obviously loves it. He's a big meatloaf guy. So
totally massive.
Have you tried it though? I forget if you.
I don't
know. He's a hater,
never
bro.
tried it. Okay,
I think I might have had it like once when I was a kid, and I was like, yeah, never again. And that was what that was. But yeah,
it's good if you find the right place.
That's what I've heard. That's kind of been the consensus that I've been hearing
like
lately.
A microwave meal that you kind of eat.
Yeah,
kind of what I'm picturing in a way.
See, like I'm thinking of like low-key like Salisbury steak. Like the TV
brother,
dinner. Like
that's a whole different dish.
I know, but like in my mind, like, that's what I'm thinking.
I get where you're
I
coming
get
from.
that. But.
I get where you're coming from.
Nah, you guys gotta brush up on your meatloaf standards, honestly.
Hey, on the to-do list.
Oh my god!
Get your questions in. We'll get to them shortly here. All right, Scotty, you ready to get fired up, bro? Because Will Backus wrote the college football's 10 best. Will Backus at CBS Sports.
Okay.
What college football's 10 best backup quarterbacks? We're gonna go through them one by one, right?
Okay. You going 1 to 10?
He actually didn't rank them. He just listed them.
Okay.
Number 1, Michael Van Buren from LSU.
Was he elsewhere before?
He was a true fresh at Mississippi State last season.
Okay.
Only completed 54% of his passes with 7 interceptions.
Alrighty.
First name mentioned. Matthew Caldwell. He's going to back up Arch Manning at Texas.
Okay.
Zayon Chris at Houston.
I like him.
He started last year. Yep.
I like him.
Ashton Daniels. But he was the Stanford quarterback when that day happened. He's backing up at.
Wait, like he was like in the game, like he was the quarterback that game.
Pretty sure he was. Yes.
Oh wow. Okay.
Sounds right.
But he is now at Auburn. Tyler Van Dyke.
Who's Auburn's starter this year? Projected starter, do you know? I can look.
Isn't it Peyton Thorne?
You're probably right. Yep.
Not sure.
That's about right.
Or no, they got I think they got Jackson Arnold from OU.
Double check that.
Yeah, double check that. Tyler Van Dyke. Do you remember that name?
Was he at Miami?
He's at Miami.
Yeah. Where's he at now?
Backing up Jennings at SMU.
That's a solid quarterback room. I'm not gonna lie.
That ain't bad.
That's a solid quarterback room.
That ain't
Jennings
bad.
and Van Buren. Jackson Arnold is at Auburn now. Good call.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm still looking up Ashton
Hey,
Daniels.
shout out Reef.
That's my guy.
Appreciate you, big dog.
Yeah, that was him in the Stanford game.
Okay.
Okay.
Next guy, Max Johnson at North Carolina.
Not familiar with him.
I think he played at A&M for a bit. He started 23 games at LSU and A&M actually.
Okay.
Next, Mikey Keene.
My dog. Yeah. That's a bro. Y'all. I'm gonna say y'all. Michigan got a good quarterback room, bro. Underwood and bro. Mikey Keene gonna play some games this year, bro.
They put in there Mikey
Yeah.
Keene or Bryce Underwood.
Yeah, Mikey Keene's gonna play some games this year. From coming over from Fresno State, was really productive. Previous to that, he was at Central Florida. He was really productive there as well. So I like Mikey Keene a lot. A pure pocket passer, kind of old school quarterback, but
He was. But with that, they're showing that quarterback competitions. Maybe maybe we'll mention them, right?
so yeah. So this was a slash. This was a Bryce Underwood slash.
It says Mikey Keene or Bryce Underwood.
Okay.
That's what it says. Ken Seals at TCU. No idea. Ready for this one?
Don't say that name.
Jeff
bro.
Sims, Arizona State.
Why did they do this, bro?
Few backups come as battle tested as Sims.
Few backups come with fewer turnovers, career turnovers, than Jeff Sims, bro. They got to stop doing this, bro.
Next is Jacob Zeno. I know him because he was the quarterback at UAB in my dynasty last year. He's now at Texas A&M. That is it. That's it.
Bruh, this is crazy, dog. I'm just looking at Jeff Sims' career numbers.
Oh, he's really bad.
What are they?
His most time played throughout a season was back in 2020
Started for Georgia Tech.
Not
for Georgia
quite.
Tech. That year, he threw 13 touchdowns and threw 13 interceptions.
Not quite.
1,800 passing yards. And then from there, every year the production has gone down because obviously the team is like, yeah, we can't have this guy as our starting quarterback.
Oh, of course.
I mean, even in Nebraska, that year in Nebraska, and Colorado fans saw him up close and personal.
Yeah,
in
and it was a
2023.
disaster.
Yeah.
Bro, that year, he threw 1 touchdown and threw 6 interceptions.
Oh, go look at how many fumbles he had, too.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't think ESPN tracks that, but it's come on. I don't. And again, this is the reason I'm so hard on. I don't want to say hard, but this is not the first time that Jeff Sims has been thrown into like a. Oh yeah, they got a good quarterback room. Like no. Like Julian Lewis right now is a better quarterback than Jeff Sims.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
Not even close. And Jeff Sims, like I said, has been playing college football since 2020, when Julian Lewis was probably in 7th, 8th grade.
Yeah.
Like come on.
Experience doesn't always equal.
Right.
And that
What
has
I'm
to be what they're
looking for,
going
but-
on. Like, he's played a lot of
You're
football,
a
so
six-year senior, whatever.
I'm in there.
It's crazy that, you couldn't at least put it. They didn't even get CU a mention in this. And
That's
Look,
nuts.
this is just the facts. I don't care who wins the quarterback competition. Whoever the backup is one of the best backups in the country by far.
100%.
Jack, after we went through spring, we saw the spring game, we saw them all. I'm not going to ask you to pick one, but just your read on the quarterback situation right now.
yeah, obviously, as you said, the quarterback room, this is the deepest it has been in the past couple of years under Coach Prime. Shout out Ryan Staub.
Yeah.
I don't think he played a ton in the spring game, but just that one game he played against Utah, that was really impressive. But ultimately, it's going to be between Caden Salter and Juju. At least all signs point to that. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough thing to say, but I mean, if CU is really in like win now, like we're going for the Big 12 championship this year. I think just with his experience, Caden Salter might be due this year, and not knocking Juju at all. But
Yeah, sure.
I think learning from a guy would be super beneficial, at least for a year. Injuries happen too, and CU is in a much better position now to deal with that if that does happen. God forbid, but yeah, I'm excited to watch whoever wins the battle this fall. This fall training camp is going to be fun to watch.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully, we don't get any like ESPN quarterback tracker kind of stuff.
That'd be
I don't want to see
hilarious.
that. I mean, we are not allowed to watch practices, but
I mean, if there was a college fan base who could generate traction off of practice completion percentage and all that, it's us. So
If it sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you're at this point kind of you're expecting Caden to kind of be the
yeah,
week one starter.
I think so, just because of his experience.
Yeah.
2 years ago, obviously amazing at Liberty. Last year, I mean, the offense wasn't quite as good, but still, just what he accomplished with his legs and his arm. I think that'll be big for CU's offense.
What do you think he's capable of? Best case scenario, and offensive
terms
line
of-
proves. You said what?
What do you mean exactly?
Just Caden. What do you think he's capable
Capable
of
of.
as an individual? Assuming the offensive line is going to be much improved.
Yeah.
Assuming he's probably going to have the best stable of like receivers and weapons to throw to.
Yeah.
What do you think his potential, I guess, is in this offense here at Colorado in 2025?
Yeah, I mean, what he did at Liberty, I mean, Liberty's obviously not a Power 4 school. It will be a bit of a transition for him,
Right.
kind of moving up to like Big 12. But I do think the sky's the ceiling for him. If I said that quote right. He has the offensive pieces, the weapons, especially outside, to do whatever he wants to do. If he gets any of those wide receivers the ball
One-on-one.
in open space,
Yeah.
he is going to be just fine. But I think just as importantly, the running game, if CU can get that going a little bit more to take some of the pressure off his shoulders. 'Cause, I mean, he's already coming in with a decent amount of pressure, coming off Shador, obviously. I think the first 3 games, maybe non-conference play, might be a little bit of a learning curve. Offense might take a minute to get going.
sure.
But I think by the time they get to that BYU game at the end of September,
Right.
I think the offense is going to be clicking a little bit more once they figure out, kind of the depth chart, who goes where.
Yeah.
But again, the sky is the limit for him, and I think he's capable of leading CU to hopefully a Big 12 championship game appearance.
That's
love
all
it,
they've been
man.
talking about. That's what Caden said. I mean,
Yeah,
himself.
that's the standard.
That's what he's
first
going
thing,
for.
yeah, Big 12
That's the
championship.
expectation. I
Right.
mean, year one it was build hope. Last year,
Get to a
bowl
bowl
game.
game. Yep.
No, Big 12. So, yeah, we'll see.
No doubt.
Sorry.
Yeah, Jake.
I'm trying, bro. I'm looking.
Are they trying to send us off in the chat, or are they valid?
I'm not seeing it.
Me neither.
Where, David?
Right. Facts.
We'll get back to that. Let's play fill in the blank real quick though.
Let's do it.
All right. Ready whenever you guys are. All right, there it is. Colorado's next 2026 commit will be at blank position. I mean,
Next 20.
from what the chat's saying, you could kind of cheat real quick if you want.
I'm not seeing that.
I'm not either.
What say you, Jack?
I gotta pull up your tweet where you did the which guys are committing.
Yeah.
when.
yeah.
Do you?
I gotta look at that real quick.
All right, bet.
That's gonna be kind of what determines it. 'Cause
Yeah.
I know Deacon, was Sadler in there too. I'm trying to
He's
remember.
like
He's later.
Sadler's
He's
August 15th.
August.
yeah.
Let me find that tweet.
Here, I'm trying to find it too. But obviously, Sedarian
That's
is
my
in there.
blueprint. Sedarian, okay, wide receiver maybe.
Who
Chirp is
else?
July 1st. Rodney Colton
Offensive,
is
running linebacker.
July 2nd, I believe.
Right.
And I think those are the guys. And obviously Deacon this weekend. Those are the 4 or 5 in the next 2 or 3 weeks or so.
Might go Rodney Colton then, linebacker.
Linebacker.
He did post some Buffs content today. Did he
He
not?
did.
Jack?
He
Post Twitter.
posted his visit photos start.
Okay. Feel optimistic about that. What were his other top schools? Define that. I'm not sure.
Oh,
He had a
man.
top
Do you remember?
5. Penn State, Tennessee, Ole Miss,
I'll pull
maybe.
them now.
Yeah.
But he just was in Boulder recently, so I think that's huge. Not him, maybe one of the 2 Colorado offensive linemen. We'll see. I don't know.
I'm gonna go offensive line too. It's one of those guys. It's Deacon or Tripp. I think
Yeah.
one of them will be the first
Find out in Windsor on
or the
Saturday.
next. Yes, we'll find out this Saturday if it's Deacon.
Yeah, I'm gonna say an offensive lineman. It's either gonna be Tripp Skews or it's gonna be Xavier Payne, who just recently decommitted from Florida State.
Oh, that's true. Yep.
There was also was it Carson Crawford?
That's
Yeah,
a good
from-
one too. Could
the
very well
linebacker.
be
He also-
Carson Crawford. Who,
He
yeah,
committed from
Texas State, who also goes to high school with KJ Edwards at Carthage.
I'm gonna stick with linebacker then.
yeah.
Those 2 guys.
Next one. How many games will Texas Tech win this season? Or rather, fill in the blank. Texas Tech will win blank games this season. Non-conference. They got Arkansas Pine Bluff, Kent State, Oregon State. Then they start Big 12 play at Utah, at Houston, home versus Kansas, at ASU, home versus Oklahoma State, at KSU, home for BYU, home for UCF, ending the season at West Virginia.
They'll get to 8.
Counted 8.
You
as
counted
well.
8?
I win every game. I'm going 8.
They'll get to 8. They'll lose to Utah. They'll lose to Arizona State. They'll lose to K-State and BYU.
K-State. Right, I'm right there with you there.
I mean, I'm around 8 or 9 as well, but for different reasons. I think that they will beat some of those teams, but I think that, we've kind of seen it ourselves. The team with transfers, sometimes like you get in a dogfight, man, and it just gets a little ugly sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
It can go bad really quickly in the Big 12 too. I mean, one turnover. We've seen this with CU. They have a lot of expectations.
A lot.
Just be that defense. That's really what I'm looking for. I mean, I'm confident in their offense from what we saw last year, but
Yep, they
It's all
got
about
some.
the defense.
They got some pieces on defense too. The Stanford kid Bailey is really good. They got a lot of pressure though. Fill in the blank. Travis Hunter will have a combined. I wrote that wrong. Sorry. Travis Hunter will have blank combined touchdowns plus interceptions as a rookie.
You didn't write that wrong.
I just read it wrong.
Oh.
First time.
Let's see. I think he's gonna have like 4 picks. I think Burr gonna have like 7, 8 touchdowns. So I'm gonna say 11 to 12.
So here it is. The top receiving touchdowns in a season by rookies. Randy Moss is clearing away the best with 17. After that, you got Jamar Chase and 2 guys from way back in the day, John Jefferson and Billy Houghton with 13. Odell had 12, as well as Mike Evans.
So I actually looked that up on the other side though, because I wanted to see who had the rookie record for interceptions. And you know who has it? A guy you mentioned earlier today when we were talking before the show.
Oh shoot. I don't know. Diggs?
No, who do we compare him to?
Oh, Marcus Peters.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He had like 10 as a rookie,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
Yeah.
Just crazy. So I was like, damn, Travis probably not gonna do that, but he might come close. Like I said, I would say like 11 to 12 for combined touchdowns and picks.
I think opposing quarterbacks will definitely throw the ball more
100%.
that way than what we saw at CU.
100%.
Obviously.
Yeah.
So I think that could bump the pick numbers up potentially. Yeah, I'm probably like 11, 12 range total as well.
So, I mean, Brian Thomas just last year, same team, same quarterback, had 10. Jordan Addison's had 10. Calvin Ridley's had 10. Those are just recent examples. I'm going to bet that Travis Hunter gets into that Jamar Chase range. He has 12 to 15-ish touchdowns, and he adds another. My combined number is 20, honestly.
20.
That'd be crazy, dog. I mean, if that happens, I mean, yeah, they will have the best receiver duo in the NFL this year.
We need to start having that conversation, honestly. But yeah, and what Jack said about, I think there's going to be quarterbacks who are like,
I'm gonna try this kid. I'm not scared of him.
rookie? Who is
Scared of
this?
him.
Yeah. This is my guy on the outside. He got me.
Yeah.
And then Travis is going to do the same thing that we've seen so many times where he turns into the wide receiver on
yeah.
defense. Next one. The first quarterback drafted in the 2026 NFL draft will be blank.
Garrett Nussmeier, LSU quarterback.
I think I'm there as well. I got to shout out my guy, LaNorris Sellers.
Is he eligible this year?
Pretty sure he is.
wonder why I thought he was like super young, like he was like looking like a redshirt freshman or like sophomore this year.
No,
past year.
We've been talking about him. I'm pretty sure he's eligible. Yeah, this will be his third season. But yeah, I think Garrett Nussmeier is the right pick. Actually, I really like how he throws the football.
To go Nussmeier, or I'm very high on Sam Levitt. I know.
Ooh, okay.
I'm gonna give him some respect. Just like watching Arizona State, especially in that CFP game against Texas, was really impressed with him. I obviously didn't watch Arizona State a ton because Steve never played him, so we were never looking at them that closely, I guess. But when we finally could watch him, like in the CFP, I was really impressed. Even with Scottaboo, being right there, he's not there anymore. So I think this will be his year to kind of prove himself.
Would he be your pick, Jack? The best quarterback in the Big 12 entering the season? If you had or if you're filling out the
BYU's Retzlaff, I know he's
right,
a little less right now. We're kind of between those two. We'll see what happens with Retzlaff.
Sure.
But yeah, I'd probably go Sam Levitt just with how just his leadership abilities last year, even with Scottaboo next to him as well, was big. I'm going to go Levitt. Maybe Caden Salter's up there as well. But he has to prove himself first at in the Big 12 at the Power 4 level.
I love it. Jack's bringing some ASU balance to the show. Yes, Cade Klubnik is also in the conversation too. Not sleeping on Cade. The most improved CU player after 2025 will be blank. Who will we look back on at the end of the year and go, you know what? They really outperformed themselves this year. You have an idea, Scotty?
I want to hear Jack's answer.
The first name that came to my mind was Carter Stoutmeyer. He showed flashes last year a lot.
That answer, Jack. See, that's why I wanted to go first.
I know you guys talked about Carter yesterday too. Maybe that's why he's also on my mind. But he showed flashes last year. Freshman year was a little rough for him at the beginning. Then the position change, I think that was big for him. I think he's in a better spot now. Also, he just has the chance to kind of be the dude with, Simon Craig and Shiloh now in the NFL. He'll get a lot of opportunities. He looks bigger to me. Maybe,
he's definitely bigger.
Looks bigger to me.
For sure.
I think that'll be big. So I'm going to go with Carter.
Nice pick.
Hell of a pick. Yeah, we talked a lot about Carter yesterday, bro. People are, I feel like, sleeping on bro.
No doubt.
There should really be nothing but positivity when it comes to the narrative surrounding Carter Stoutmeyer right now.
During spring ball, we heard a lot of good things about him, too.
Yeah.
Maybe that's also kind of what influenced it.
The coaching staff obviously loves him.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with cornerback.
Okay.
His name is RJ Johnson. We just didn't see much of him in terms of, at least defensively last year. He played the most special team snaps on the team, but I feel like he is going to get a lot of opportunities in that secondary at cornerback to prove that he is really one of them ones. Like, we saw him really flashing this spring, locking down some of the best receivers on the team. And I think his frame, 6'2", 200 pounds. I'm really excited about RJ Johnson and him in the secondary this season.
I love that, man. I'm going to go with Tawfiq Thomas. I think he's someone who we straight up don't talk about enough about. He obviously is a character. He brings that fire to the defense for sure. He's going to make it chippy on the field, but he is someone who is clearly earned a lot of trust from the coaches, and he's pretty high up in the rotation on that defensive line. We talk a lot about the newcomers, and he had some flashes last year as well. So I think we could look back and see Tawfiq Thomas having a good year and going like, wow, I don't think very many of us expected that.
I love that. Sure. I feel like there's a couple guys on the defensive line who have the potential to really kind of
I almost mentioned the freshman.
Even though you can't do that because they're not improved. But
I know.
I feel you, though, yeah. And Quinn Barnes, I feel like you could throw in that.
Totally.
He had some flashes last year.
Yeah, definitely.
Really good games.
What's the word, bro?
The Buffs got to commit, y'all.
Thank you. All right, we're going to overtime. If you are watching on your television, head on over to thednvr.com. We got a commitment to talk about, so see you there. Yes, it is true. From Sam Spiegelman, 3-star cornerback Maurice Williams has flipped his commitment from Liberty to Colorado. Buffs, 2 days, 2 2026 cornerback commitments. Big time. Okay. The secondary, we were talking yesterday about how good we thought the secondary looked And now you're truly getting an influx of young, good talent coming in, and who honestly just understands the assignment, really.
Another great ad, and I would add, he's from down there in New Orleans, Edna-Carr High School. He is teammates with another flip target for the Colorado Buffaloes, Howard Hayward Jr., another cornerback. He's currently committed to Texas. So he is teammates with Maurice Williams. So keep an eye on that as well.
Yeah, this is live. This is real time. So sorry, we don't really have. We'll talk more about Maurice Williams tomorrow. Yeah,
We were wrong about the position.
we were wrong.
In like
Instantly
15
wrong.
minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the chat. Chatskis.
Jetski.
Shelly. For Jack, please discuss how your parents reacted to Coach Prime's at the press conference.
They were amazed.
I'm sure.
Even like parents, grandparents, aunt and uncle. It's like immediately after that happened, I just like clipped it, texted it to them. They were like, "Oh my god!" I'm not even like curious like what they texted me.
They're like, that's my baby.
Very proud. Proud. It's just cool. It felt good for me too. Yeah, because I mean they're obviously a huge part of just me growing up in media and just all the support they've given me. So yeah, they've just been amazed at it all, and yeah, really proud, which felt good to me.
Hell yeah, man. Well deserved. CU Buffs 35 says, "Hey Jack, have you ever thought of asking Coach Prime for a one-on-one interview?"
I mean, that would be awesome. I'm down. I don't know if I would ask him straight up at a press conference, but if you're down, Coach Prime, I'm totally. Obviously, whenever he's healthy and ready, I would love that.
Definitely use your one presser question one day and be like, "Hey, Coach, how about a one-on-one?"
Hey, you got 10 minutes after this, Coach?
Yeah, not
He'd
in
do it,
season.
bro.
I'm
I
not
feel
gonna
like he'd
ask
do
that
it.
in October probably.
Except for my guy, Jack Carlough.
Maybe more
I
of a
got
spring
you.
ball
Right,
thing,
thanks.
but I would love it. Maybe one day.
Soon enough, brother. Soon. Are you going to media day?
In Texas?
Yeah.
I'm not. No.
Damn, we got someone send Jack.
I'm gonna cover
Carlough
that
media day,
remotely. I'll be watching all the live streams and stuff. Yeah, it would have been fun though. You guys are going?
Yes, we'll be there.
Sweet.
In Dallas. And it's the next one. But Ivan asks another question for Jack. Give us one buff we're sleeping on to have a big year this upcoming season.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Carter Stoutmeyer just came to my head again.
Of course. I mean, hey, man,
He deserves the love
Totally,
right now.
totally.
Yeah. Guys sleeping on.
Not somebody on offense.
Yeah, I was thinking offense, wide receiver room. I don't know if we're sleeping on Amarian Miller. I feel like he's gotten a lot of love. Maybe Draylon Miller. That's the other name that came to my head. Or one of the transfer guys, Sincere Brown.
That's something I want to ask you. What transfer are you most excited about? Whether it be from the winter or spring portals?
Overall,
Yeah,
the entire
30-plus
team.
guys,
Jaheim Otis, am I pronouncing it? Otis?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Otis. Yeah, I'm excited about him. I think I don't remember if he was a 4-star transfer or not.
he is.
He is 4-star.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's one of the higher rated guys. Excited about him. He hasn't been talked about enough this offseason. I feel like maybe he's someone we're sleeping on a little bit.
I mean, it was one of those where it's like we talked about him a lot early, and then he was so early. I think he was one of the first commitments
Yeah.
too. So he kind of
Alabama.
gets, another Alabama commitment.
Hakeem Williams, the Florida State wide receiver. Really excited about him. For him to get like a true opportunity to kind of prove himself.
Because he's flashed.
Yeah, like bits and pieces the past couple of years, but if you can get a full season in, he might be another guy we need to talk about a little bit more. Running back room, if you want to go back to offense, still got to see those guys prove it a little bit more.
Who's your leader in the clubhouse in that room right now?
The running back. I mean, if I had to I know that Coach Prime with the depth chart, it's always moving
they're all gonna
around.
play. They're all gonna play
like we saw last year. But Micah Welch probably, if I had to pick a dude there. Just watching him against CSU last year was really impressive. Yeah, still got to see Dallin Hayden prove it a little bit more and just be consistent. So I'm going to go Micah Welch.
Big Tolls asks, which players do you think will represent CU at Media Day soon in Texas? I'll let the school announce it, but I'll just say that whoever you expect to be there is most likely going to be there.
Yep.
Is that fair?
I think that's fair.
You won't be
think that is fair.
disappointed with who Colorado brings to Media Day. I'll say that. They'll own the stage once again. No surprise. All right.
Hell yeah.
Well, that was the show. Jack, plug where we can find you, where we can find your work, all that good stuff, man. Let the people know where you're at.
Colorado Buffaloes on SI. Just check that out. Or you can follow me on Twitter at Jack_Carlough, CARLOUGH, not Harlow. Check me out at those two places. Writing lots of articles every day. So yeah, I'd appreciate any love there. Lots of other good content going up on our website as well. So check it out. Colorado Buffaloes on SI.
Hell yeah.
Good stuff, bro. You killed it, my boy. It's
You
good
did.
to have you.
Great
up here.
job, bro.
This was fun. I appreciate you guys.
No doubt, man. Hit up Jack Carlough. Give him a follow, man. Does great work. And an OG. Definitely took his
you can
hits
say
at
that.
CU. So,
It's been a long ride.
all right, chat. We will be back tomorrow. Lots more to get to. We'll talk Maurice Williams and much more. See you then. Let's go Buffs.
We all silly like the mayor.